On camera. What's up, everybody? First episode of the new Monday live streaming event. Not much of an event, just to check in, and we're going to do some artwork as we talk about just what's been going on lately, specifically with navigating an ADHD diagnosis and some other mental stuff. Uh, as a creative, I'm trying to figure out. And last night we did a quick pilot issue. That's a comic. Sorry, I got comics on the brain. But we did a quick hour long, like impromptu live stream just to see how things were going to work. And of course, when I came back this morning, thinking I was ready to go, I found that none of the cameras were working, none of the mics were working, and so I've been messing with this for the past 2 hours. So I think that's how it's supposed to go. I think that's just a regular christening of someone trying to make means for themselves, make a way forward. But that's all right. We're here. Okay, so just to recap, I had mentioned about having a more updated diagnosis in regards to ADHD, depression, anxiety. So last night we did a couple doodles and tangles, just talking about drawing, doodling, and kind of getting into a place of calm, place of better control. And this was something that I did prior to leaving to the Bay Area a couple weeks ago when I was bottlenecking and I had trouble trying to figure out which art demand that I needed to do. Started a little congested, came back to Ohio, and allergies, sinus, everything just hit me as opposed to Cali, where I didn't have all these issues. But yeah, so what I ended up doing was taking a tile and then start tangling and just doodling as something creative, something small to kind of calm down and produce something, just something that would unlock the bottlenecking that was happening in my brain. And once I did that, I started, a lot of other things came together. I knew I wanted to start doing a webcomic of sorts with different types of, like an anthology style, but it still would be posted on the web and my website, um, which right now I'm just using a coffee site. But I also knew I wanted to make more zines, more minis to just talk about memoir and just dealing with my mental health and just like a pinky tip to into the world of graphic medicine. And I'm still talking weird because there's still an echo in my ear. But as long as it's not echoing for you, I'll deal. But yeah, leave it in the comments section if the audio's jacked up so I can try to address that early. Okay, and then, oh, I need to wake up. I'm still trying to wake up. Kate's got me this cup. Can you tell? Yeah. So, anyways, um, tangling, doodling, just unlocking, and then as I was thinking about the diagnosis, kind of angry and pissed off that I'm still dealing with this and have been dealing with it all my life, but not finding out till much later that it was kind of the bane of my existence. And so I just started drawing the letters A, this should be up here, D, H, D, and just tangling around that, designing around that, and saying, well, until I can see a doctor and talk about medication or therapy and get other strategies to deal with this, I'm going to just do what I know, and that's draw. So, what came about that experiment was a whole unlocking a series of tiles, designs, and letters that would serve either as an entry point to a story or a comic that would kind of dive into the aspects of just dealing with the different symptoms that come with ADHD and neurodivergence. Hey, cousins, I see you. Thank you for tuning in. So we've got a couple tiles of different size and complexities, and I've got different ideas and scripts that I'm looking forward to exploring. So here's another example. There they are. So I'm trying to get everything out of my travel kit. I keep making these little travel kits to make the plane rides easier, to get the most stuff on the plane for conventions and whatnot, but yet not too much that my body suffers with the fibromyalgia and carrying all this stuff around. I'm still learning to pare things down, and it's slowly working. We're getting a system that okay. So that was some of what I did. I haven't even inked them yet, but I still really enjoy tangling these and doodling and trying out different designs or doodles and different shapes. It's autofocus there. Okay. Let's see if we can get that to come in focus. Okay. And I pretty much got a lot of stories figured out that I want to work on. And what you'll be witnessing here on the channel on Mondays is me working towards that set of stories. So that way, once I've got several in the can, I'll produce either printed zine versions of them or put them up on the web as serials or seasons, because I don't want to have just one or two and then months go by and you don't see or hear anything. I'd like to have a whole bundle, a nice handful already prepped, and then I can just update whether once or twice a week as I'm producing more. Then on Wednesdays, we'll pivot to some of my other work, my work that's not surrounded by exploring this diagnosis or memoir. This will be more my freelance work I do for other anthologies, and specifically right now, gnomes. So some of you saw this on social media, but here's another look in case you're just tuning. And if I have a weird delay in my voice, it's because I'm hearing the echo and it just keeps messing me up. So I really have to learn how to tune that out. Or somebody who's more tech savvy can maybe give me a few pointers. I found not to hear the echo. Okay, autofocus. Come on, you're Logitech Brio camera. You're supposed to work really nice, better than everything else I have. Okay, the mic definitely picks up I wonder if you can hear Ori, my husky, like like chomping and doing things with her jowls. All the kids are still asleep. Oh, one's awake. So, okay. Well, the audience now knows your sleep patterns. Anyways, that's my youngest. So, anyways, gnomes, anthologies, freelance work, commissions, and other type of web comics that don't fit maybe into memoir, that are more silly, a little more unhinged when I need to kind of just act out and wild out. So, oh, check out the shirt. My buddy Greg, my homie, is not the worst fighter. Drawn by Chris Giaruso. Giaruso. Sorry if I butchered that name, but I really like your art. So I love this shirt. I'm wearing it out. So I need a new one. Soon, Greg. Also, the whole journal and planning thing. Might get some of that happening here on Mondays as we try to set the tone for the whole week and try to be productive, navigate these things that you know, tend to cause disruption in my life and production schedule. So, using various bullet journals and planners to try and at least have a visual of what I'd like to get accomplished, even if I don't always meet that goal. Then, at the very least, if I get stuck, there'll be something I can refer to visually or notes. So, kind of like a guideline. So, this is like my mindfulness mental journal, where I also plan most of the content for these ADHD zines and comics. So, um, and just kind of like not really sketch notes, but just kind of keeping me honest, helping guide me forward. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff planned, and I'm actually excited about this. Oh, more stuff. And I'll also be doing digital products and patterns. Learn from my friend and fellow cartoonist Kit Fraser. So I'll have to learn how to link people. So let me see if I can actually. Oh, I probably can't link it in the thing yet without doing a bunch of messing up. So we'll get to that. As we move forward, we'll acquire new skill sets, a little more smoother when it comes to streaming. I'm not like my buddy Mike Watson. Kit Fraser's in the chat. That's perfect. Kit, please link them to your work. You'll help me out. So, yeah, go check out Kit's website where Kit has all these nice patterns for sale, especially you crafty people, um, and see where I got learned from, if that makes any sense. We're going to butcher grammar here. We're going to butcher grammar a lot. We're just going to butcher the whole English language. Eventually, they'll have to call it a different language by the time I'm done with it. So, but yeah, these are really fun. And these are also therapeutic, very calming to the point where, oh, let me show you the rest of it. I'm not even done with it. So to me, Halloween is 365 days a year. So I like doing the spooky stuff. And I'm also trying to make it a little bit more general audience, um, and basically like a little more cute, but I still do the really gnarly drawing, and that's what I'm working on with another pattern that I'll show you later on. But yeah, so Kit kitfraser.com, and you can check out Kit's comics, great comics. Kit just recently had a New Yorker cartoon published on one of their online platforms, I think. I forget the name of it. Um, and then Kit's also working on a couple other comics that I'm really excited about. And Kit was one of the cartoonists and one of my fellow classmates from the MFA in Comics program that I just got back from doing a small residency in Oakland. So that's where a lot of this stuff germinated from. I kept having a lot of starting stories and then stopping them because I was so concerned with trying to produce something in a week and come back to Ohio home with something in my hands that I accomplish rather than focusing on what was more important. And what was more important was coming up with strategies and approaches that allow me to get unstuck, move forward, and produce. So, a little bit late in our residency, I finally came to that conclusion and wrapped my brain around. And that's when um, a few plans fell into place. So I'm hoping that those plans stick and we're able to produce some cool stuff. Okay, I'm trying to get this little thing on here so I can. Ah, we're just going with monkey grip. Forget it. So last time I was doodling and messing with a tangle, showing examples of a tang. I'm not doing a very good job of it, but whatever. So here, for those of you that didn't see, ADHD, I guess that was my anxiety. So at the time, let's go and put this up here. Oh, great. Now we got landscapers happening in the background on my first episode. That's typical, very typical. It's like, all right, we're gonna keep it positive. We're gonna keep on moving. Also, I'm recording on my iPhone the top-down menu and drawing of this to eventually edit and batch stuff later. Also, while I was out there, I picked up this book, this manga. My Brain is Different: Stories of ADHD and Other Developmental Disorders. It says 9 true stories, illustrated by Manzuzu. I'm not familiar with them, but I knew I had to pick this up at Silver Sprocket, one of the best comic book stores I've ever come across. San Francisco. And basically, what the cartoonist did was ask permission to tell the stories of other people that were dealing with ADHD and neurodivergency. Is that even a word? I feel like divergency is a word because every time I use it, spell check changes it to just divergent. But maybe me saying divergency is me just trying to get agency in an illness or a set of wires that aren't really geared to deal with the neurotypical world. Maybe spell check is neurotypical. I think so. All right, let's get to this. So I was on fumes yesterday trying to doodle this, but got some sleep and we're just gonna see what happens. Let's start with some scallops. See, I couldn't remember these yesterday. Now these are really small. Oh, the breathing is horrible. I've got bad allergies and I've got bad asthma. So a lot of mouth breathing tends to happen in the microphone, and I apologize for that. I know they got noise cancellation, But do they have Darth Vader breathing cancellation? Someone needs to get on that. And then you could also make them angular. Again, there are many more artists with more of an elegant approach to inking and hand and steadier hand. If you came here for elegance, you came to the wrong place. So, so as they say, this is the land of confusion, brain fog. And let's see, what else do I want to do? You know, we can also just start like this, like a more squarish spiral. Oh wow, can you hear that killing me here? I guess I don't even have to let my hand up when I'm drawing. I don't even know if I'm using words at this point. My mouth feels like it's full of marbles. It's been a long time since I've had to practice talking live. And then we darken in these little pocket space to give some contrast and help things pop. One thing I have to remind myself, sorry the delay, it's the echo is really screwing with me. Okay, one thing I have to remind myself about, and I'll mention it to you all, is when tangling or doodling, it's not really about the destination, it's about the journey. You know, you're letting just free form of thoughts just kind of translate into your hand. Or maybe you're not thinking about anything specifically, and it's that subconscious that's working. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, so don't take this as professional advice. This is just what I assume is happening. This is what I assume is happening. So, but yeah, those of you that do know and have been dealing with this longer, feel free to weigh in. We got this going on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And there might be times where I get quiet because I'm just getting into the art and I forget I'm live streaming. And maybe this mic is big enough to catch some ASMR. What is that? That is a hair. I don't know if it's a lash. Hopefully it's not a nose hair. I think it's just a lash. This pen is really inky. It feels like, no, it sounds like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is happening outside my window right now. I think them bushes are done, dude. They're not trimming my stuff. My bushes are not trimmed. So it must be the neighbors. I have to remember that. It's supposed to be Monday morning mindfulness methods and chainsaws. That sounds about metal. I might be able to work with that. So, okay. So it's all escaping me right now, specific tangles or specific patterns. But one of this patterns I really like and I find an affinity and exploration of is more like African um, based patterns or textiles or like was it the kente cloth? Did I say I probably messed that up. Sorry, Crown. Um, oh, I need to shout out a couple people because I know they're dealing with some health issues, and I just want everyone to kind of like put your brain power, if you got the bandwidth, towards some friends of mine. Jaime Crespo, Tortilla Press. Well, check out his YouTube. Great. But he's unfortunately in the hospital right now, dealing with some heart stuff and about to go through surgery. So, Jaime, I just want to say happy recovery, or speedily recover, please, because I enjoy sitting next to you anytime we get together for comic events and LCAF and other shows, where anytime Jaime's there, I like to sit next to Jaime or at the table because I know I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh so much because Jaime shares these stories and all of his experience as a cartoonist, in the Bay Area. And I leave like in tears, good tears, because I've laughed so much. I've had a good time. And Jaime makes those trips like really worth it. So, or anytime he comes out here for when SoulCon used to happen. And then we have Crown, Maya Crown Williams. Um, been through a lot, uh, dealing with recovering or trying to recover from breast cancer and surgery. And Maya Crown, or let's just call her Crown, because she wears the crown, is put on one of my best shows that I love. I can't even talk. I'm so sorry. Uh, but Mecca, Detroit, another show I go to where I hang out with my Mecca family, and that con always makes me feel better. And when I'm done with it, I feel replenished. I feel like my soul has been lifted a little bit, and that the work that we talk about, um, the culture, is just really motivation. I don't say motivational. I meant motivating. I can't word today. Sorry. Anyways, so please, extend well wishes to both of them and to anyone else that's also dealing with a lot right now, which seems to be almost everybody. All right, let me get back to the doodling. So, okay, so now it's not a chainsaw. What the hell is that? It's a motor. Feels like it's running. It's a wood chipper. Uh, I did say I like Halloween 365 days a year, but I wasn't expecting like to hear slasher sounds outside my door. Oh, it's not morning. It's morning for me, but it's 12:30 noon. I guess I can't complain too much. But yeah, this wasn't the ASMR that you came for, was it? My family has to get used to me doing these as they roll their eyes. Let's make some peaks. As you can tell, I do a lot of angular lines. They're more aggressive, and maybe that's just the heavy hand, which I explained last night, the left heavy hand of doom, but also my aesthetic, my mental state. I don't know. And then also dealing with that bicep tear, I want to be careful of how much range of motion I use. Normally, the elbow and the shoulder would be best to use when eking at least larger areas. So right now, we're just using mostly fingers and wrists, and I've never had great control when it comes to these aspects. They're doing a lot of construction, building. They took away the cows, took away the farm, which was a beautiful sight. I could, open up the window or just move the curtain, and boom, I'd have nature and cows right out my door. But now they just built a whole bunch of houses, like like really quick cookie cutter houses maybe that are already priced at to where my family and I will never be able to afford to move into those. Meanwhile, they raise our rent here. I don't know why. So I don't understand how that works when you apartment or rentals raise their rent when new housing goes up and that goes up. So it's not. So I guess it's not about trying to cater to people with a lower cost and grab renters. I guess it's some other bougie formula that I have no knowledge about. But I know it doesn't, in the grand design, it doesn't fit me or my family or most people I know. So take that as you will. We got trucks. We got buzzsaws. I just need to hear some bombs. No, no, none of those. The only bombs being dropped in here are the bombs of the truth that I'm giving you. Just kidding. Psych. I was trying to explain to my kids what psych meant, or that psych was a thing, because I can't tell sometimes when they're joking with me and they almost get in trouble, and then because their deadpan is too good. So I told them, you know what, just start saying psych at the end, so I know you're just trolling me. So, so my feelings don't get hurt too much. Yeah. So in regards to tangling, you don't have to go in a quasi-linear one after another. You could just start somewhere else if you want to. How about some lightning? I haven't seen Thor, so no spoilers. And then we can make these lightning bolts into their own sections and doodle or tangle a whole different pattern. And in that lightning, there will be some bubbles. Some little patchwork, bad hatching right here. What to put right there? How about some smiley faces? I probably need to use like Streamlabs, OBS, or some other type of software so I can do actual picture in picture captures. And then that should eliminate the echo in my ear. And I can talk a little bit more clearly without second guessing myself, literally. So, but again, if you want to hear someone that has a better delivery, that speaks in a more entertaining fashion, please go check out Jaime's vlog on YouTube, Tortilla Press. So, press YouTube channel. I'll throw a link in there. Okay. Oh wow, it triplicates it across all my other platforms. But yeah, again, best wishes to Jaime. So before you know it, you get to tangling, doodling, just letting the mind wander, or you're tangling with intention, with fierce intention, and you've got all these spaces filled up. I'm gonna do some leaves. Not that you can tell they're leaves. What else should I do? All right, so that part's done. I can't find my lid. I'm not talking about my head. That's usually lost too. Oh, here it is. And this thing that was supposed to help me draw better. Let's go with a 10 or 12. Let's do a 10. Okay. StreamYard's giving me all kinds of errors. And you can tangle on the inside. However, that might get lost with the other tangling that's happening if you're wanting dimensions. Or you can go with the solid black on the inside. Yeah, let's just go ahead and darken that. ASMR. You hear that scratching? I screwed it up. Destruction. All right. You know what? Maybe I should invite some more people to this crazy show. What do you think? Let's go drop that in a couple of Discord. Self-promotion. Where else can I do? Go. So I'm going to get close. My Twitter even up? Let's see. I need to shave. Need a haircut. Ah, okay. I keep changing the name of this Monday thing because I can't settle on it. I like alliteration. So right now I just typed in Twitter Monday methods of mindfulness. I don't really know how mindful any of this is. All right. Get out of Twitter. Get out of that. And get back to this. All right. We've got a destructive A. I kind of went crazy. So Put that right there. Put this right here. Put that right there. And put that right there for now. Where is that alert coming from? How many browsers do I have open? I have no idea. All right, moving on. Okay, we've got our A. What am I feeling? Do I need to add more? What should I add? I know. If you are watching, throw in the comments section things like nouns, maybe person, place, or thing. Not a place. I'm not drawing a whole place, but things that start with A, and then I will attempt to do it around this. So I got these Staedtler pencils, and I actually really like them. They're HB2. Can you see that? So HB2. They're really fun. But I normally try and go with the Prismacolor. Come on, autofocus. Work. So first, or usually. So will I do a combination of these two, or is that a little too much? For the purpose of the camera, we'll go ahead and just use the graphite so that everyone can see. Okay, still waiting for some suggestions. I'm gonna just make up my own. So what's an apple? I'm gonna try and eat more apples. Just one a day. Not because a doctor said it, but because I'm trying to make some changes because of being pre-diabetic. And so if I can do maybe 2 or 3 snacks of fruit and then incorporate more veggies throughout the day instead of automatically going to find sugar and the unhealthy stuff, then hopefully I can start losing some of this weight. And I have an appointment later on today with kind of like a nutritionist, health coach. Should I just do all graphite and let the ink? Now I can just kind of. So they're shading like this, right? Or your basic light to dark, or in my case, dark to light. And then there's a type of shading where you're going with the curve or where you want your contours, like a striation. And the lighter you want them, or the tones to be, the farther apart you would separate the lines. Or better artists than me would. I hope you like self-deprecation, because you're gonna get a lot of it here. Now I'm just coloring it. I don't know why. What else? Anarchy. A for anarchy. So far, these are all circular. You notice that? Need to change the angle. Or I could just draw an angle. What degree is that? I have no idea. Not so good at the math. What else? Funny how everything goes blank when you're trying to think of it in front of a bunch of people or 9 people. Something that starts with A. I look around the house. Artist. There we go. Y'all want a thumbs up? How do I draw a thumbs up? How do I draw it backward? Get started. My avatar. Artist avatar. There we go. Apple. Anarchy. Angle. Or a-hole. I need more coffee. It's gotten cold. I don't care. We gotta do it. It's my move juice. Okay. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I started doodling tornadoes. I told you how much I don't like tornadoes. Tornadoes. Sound like I said tornadoes. What are tornadoes? Oh, I know what tornadoes. Speaking of 80s, that Stranger Thing song, the Kate Bush song, stuck in my head. And I don't know the lyrics. So it's just like a melody. But again, I haven't watched that season. It's just a song stuck in my head. There. Torn. 80s. My new band. We're just going to do covers of New Order, Tears for Fears. But we'll do it with me, the vocalist, and like a rooster voice that's just like shrieking and cackling because I don't know how to sing. I have some people visiting, going, is this all there is to it? What's the purpose of this? All he's doing is rambling and doodling. And maybe that is the purpose, at least of today. Sometimes I'll have the iPad out. You'll see me further along in production on a zine comic or just a piece of artwork or maybe a print for a show, especially with a couple zine type of shows and indie shows coming up. I'd like to increase that output. My goal is to have a spindle just full of zines and mini comics. So, okay. Oh, I should have done this as a tornado with it, because then it'd be like the Scorpions, rock you like a herd. Okay. So, yeah, that superimposed on top of that, but a lot more simple. So, thousands of dollars of debt for this graphic design degree. Thanks, college. I'm gonna look up some resources. I want things that begin with A. Specifically, I want animals that start with A. Wasn't like an alpaca. There we go. I want alpaca. Images. Give me the images. Give me the alpaca images. Oh my god. Look at this hair. Okay. We got something. Here we go. They got this nose that looks like cow antlers, and then this tiny little muzzle. And these funny teeth. It's like he's smiling at us. And then these jaws that go like right, and a little bit of Wolverine sideburns. And then these marble eyes. Oh, that looks horrible. So I'm trying to fit it in. I scratch my eye. Okay. This one's gonna have bags. It's had a hard life. They got kind of like an 80s hairstyle. This is just weird and meta how I'm associating all of these things and just stringing them together. What would you call that? Is that like a string of consciousness? Little ear. More Billy Idol, Cyndi Lauper hair. Here we go. Where's my alpaca? I didn't plan correctly for the size of it. Just bring that down here. Okay. Those are fun. I could draw those again, definitely. So, all right. Okay. I should have kind of wrote a script because now I'm starting to lose my train of thought. There's the bottlenecking. Just like seeing it in action. What am I looking for? Oh, I got some mock-ups to show you. I did. I'm gonna change the name, but this is how some of my little zines are starting out, and then I'll take them and draw them better. But just to get ideas out, these are just index cards. And I lost the other pages to this, so I gotta find that. Found another tile. Ah, I think this goes in here. That's a huge one. It's like 20 pages without a cover so far. So 16 or 20. So it'll be a 20 or 24 page booklet when I'm done. Another one. Because my layouts and thumbs are so loose, I really got to remember to write notes, because when I go back to the artwork, I'm not sure what's going on sometimes, and I might lose the story that I was originally digging. Oh, there's another one. Oh, so I was doing an accordion book where it was all like words that began with A, like emotions, negative emotions. So it's gonna tangle around all this nice lettering. So if you'd like to see me work on this, maybe next Monday, let me know, and I'll set things up a little bit better so that I can ink it and not completely trash it. All right. Well, that Kate Bush song left my head, and a different 80s song has taken its place. Tell me if you can, for you grown folks. Oops. That does not look like him. Damn it. Let's try and draw the cat. I should have looked up a Bobby Brown reference, but it's every little stuff got stuck in my head. If you're around, the video features Bobby Brown and a couple dancers doing singing and dancing in like biker shorts and biker gear. I'm not talking about like Hell's Angels kind of bikers, like more like Lance Armstrong. No, not the, but more like cycling. Yeah, and I realize that Bobby Brown, begins with a B, but Afro starts with an A. So we're still in compliance. Let's make this a cartoon. I don't know why there's an apple sitting on my word balloon, because somebody did not know how to do composition. Oh, I can't talk today. We need more coffee. Okay. Let's see. What else begins with anatomy? Something that I'm not good at. Let's try that. Now there's that striation thing. Who was it that talked about that? I think it was Greg Capola in the old basic training in Wizard magazines. I know this is wrong, but let's just fake it as we make it. Dad jokes. I'm not here all day, but I'm here for another half hour. And again, the hope as we move forward is that I stop talking in William Shatner voice because the echo doesn't keep happening, but also there's a little bit more coherency with everything. Now, normally I have more interaction with my streams when I used to do it on Facebook live, but I think that was because I was more in the evening and people were at work. So don't let her read. What else begins with A? I really like that alpaca. Not the one I drew, but just looking at images of them. They're fun. Okay, I have an idea. Here, artists, get it? A little like a mushroom head. Almonds. I start with A. That's something I should be eating more of. Things that begin with A. Alligator. That's a good one. Speaking of alligators, on an upcoming Wednesday, you'll see me working on a pinup for uh, J JB's Mess Comics, and that has an alligator graveyard in it, the comic, and maybe a pinup. So here we go. I was watching that new Resident Evil series last night, but I won't spoil it. But there's something that begins with A in there. It was really cool. I appreciated it. All right, what else starts? Oh, anchor. Okay, let's drop some anchors. Hmm. Is it hard for anyone else to draw in front of people? Got about 15, 20 more minutes, and then I'll have to call it a day with the stream. Get ready for a doctor's appointment and fine tune this work area, clean up the house, and maybe script some things down, a format, or maybe timestamps to make this more structured, because that's obviously what I need is structure. But if you've tuned in today, thank you so much for dealing with my mess. Should we call it Messy Mondays? What should we call this? This Monday. Or me, I'll just keep changing and using alliteration until something really sticks. Or people are like, that's it. That's what you should use. Do people stream 2 times a day? Like doing a Monday morning type of thing to get ready, and then like a Monday evening, for the afternoon crowd. Wondering if that's something I should look into. I'm going to. I almost said ink, but I mean pencil. The ears are way too hot. I can hear my kids complaining. Can you hear them? I think they forgot that I'm streaming, or they just don't care. This is actually looking okay to me. We'll do flames because it's metal. We're metal men. I should say we're metal people. We're all inclusive metal. And then blood dripping. Where's the paint? This is PG crowd, right? It's during the day. Safe at work. So it's just paint. Family's waking up, starting to move. You hear my wife sign? The burden of being married to me, weighing on her. Which means get out of here soon and go help. Kind of reminds me of claws. I'm dropping the ends of every word because of the echo. So it keeps kind of like an unfinished thought. A red alpaca. I definitely want to come back and draw a red alpaca. Holler if you want to see me draw a red alpaca. Like holler right now in the cubicle where we're at, down from the boss's office. And make the workday interesting for your fellow coworkers or teachers. Where y'all going? Oh. I need to get my hair done. Okay. Well, I was about to get off here to help, but everyone's leaving. Well, Ori, our husky, he's just looking at the door, all sad, because everyone left. Oreo, Come here. You okay? Come here, girl. Come here. Come here. Hi. Hi, sweetie. Oreo, Wintergreen, Hunter. All the kids have two middle names. That indecisiveness working there. Oh, she's hanging out my feet. Okay. Now, now that I pet her, I can't rub my face. Otherwise, I'll trigger my allergies. Okay. I don't know what to draw next. What's another thing that begins with an A? An airplane? Do I want to draw an airplane? Oh, I have an idea. That could work. Ready? My kids absolutely love all the Sharknadoes, and they're so cheesy. But I guess that's part of their charm. I'm not gonna lie. The first Sharknado I watched while hooked up to a bunch of wires and getting a sleep study. There we go. Airplanes. All right. What else begins with an A? Arrow. Okay. So let's do a little trick. This will help us fill space. Not necessarily tie things together, but at the very least, that's a crooked bullseye. Oh, it's because of the spine. I see. Okay. So what did we accomplish today? My friend Gabe used to tell our art teacher, Mr. Papsiak, great art teacher, but he pulled his hair out because we were so frustrating to have. But very good art teacher, a really good guy. But he'd say to me, to Gabe, to most of us, except for Ron, because Ron was always doing his work. What are you working on? What are you doing? And then Gabe would say, absolutely damn nothing, Mr. Papsiak. And I would just get a kick out of it. Every time he told me, I just start roaring. But at least it was honest. So inadvertently, we are filling up the space, and it doesn't look that bad, but it's nice that just random things can kind of subconsciously create their own composition. Oh, I hate this echo. I have an itch on my nose. It's right there. Sorry. Okay. Warning. Oh, let me outline this. And as a fun cue, we have the next door neighbor's dogs barking. The whole damn neighborhood's against us. Do some tattoos, which are just squiggly lines. God, killing me here. Might be time to wrap up. If those dogs don't start barking, we're gonna let two chihuahuas. I think they're chihuahuas. They sound like chihuahuas. Stop us from doing what we do best. So, one of these mics is muted, and I don't know which. Okay. Construction, dogs, landscaping, Monday morning. Maybe I don't have ADHD. Maybe it's the neighborhood. Getting some shot the devil vibes from this. What else starts with A? I got more space to fill. Acorn. Let's try and draw some acorn nuts, and hopefully they will look inappropriate. Yeah, I think I'll definitely try to plan a loose script or schedule for next Monday. Otherwise, you end up drawing nuts and other things. Let's tie this together. These are wind currents taking the acorns behind Bobby Brown. It's Afro. Gotta keep it A. And bringing them to join their fellow nuts, the almonds. The almonds. I'm thinking of the Almond Brothers. So why does that sound like a music group? The Almonds. There we go. So let's do a tang and we'll tie all this together. What does an aloe vera plant look like? Is there enough? I don't think there's enough length. That would be cool if they had vines. They don't. They have these long Demogorgon tendrils. So let's work with that. It has spikes. Just call me master of the tangent. These are looking like aloe vera plants. They're starting to look like some not safe for work stuff. Even though they're all natural. There we go. Let's add some curve to them. $1:30, almost time to go. Get some more coffee. Get ready for a check-in. Nice little handful of you have been hanging out. Thank you. Appreciate it. I've been talking about wanting to do a live stream on a regular basis for a minute now. And letting a lot of things stop progress on that, hold me back on it. The anxiety of not having a perfect setup, not being comfortable with my voice, worried about the content that I was going to do, and then just regular executive functioning type of things that I'm definitely not good at. So eventually it was put up or shut up time. And since I have a hard time shutting up, here we are. I know this is not accurate, but we are filling the space. Oh, where's that truck backing up to? All these noises out here. It's kind of what it's like inside here. So is it fitting that my surrounding areas and the neighborhood is reflecting what my usual mental state is? I don't know. With all these ideas, a million miles per minute, and all this ambition of wanting to create all these different projects and execute on these concepts, and then they bottleneck, and then I sit there and just go into a bubble, and nothing happens, and then depression kicks in, because guilt from not getting anything done, the anxiety of deadlines. So yeah, so I figure, why not do the healthy thing and put it all out there in public and draw while I do it, because that makes a lot of sense. We're gonna do some more. We're gonna do some scallops, some scallop potatoes. Some smart ass out there right now is saying, "Hey, those don't begin with A." Neither does your. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'll keep it PG. Okay. Let's put some stripes, some wavy, semi-patriotic stripes behind here, since it was just recently a holiday here in the state, ignoring all the work we still have to do to help regular people not live a life of despair. And you might get me segueing into aspects of social justice because I don't feel like there's any good strides in mental health, at least my personal mental health, and others, or a community's mental health without social justice. You know what? How about we make this a Super Saiyan a-hole? All right, Afro body, bro. Let's give you some more shine. Our alpaca needs a little more love. So I think we're about done, which kind of worked out with the timing, me having to leave. So signature or no signature? Let's just put a little one right there. 22. Okay. Another tangent just to make those people go crazy. Squigglies. There we go. So I'll wrap up and say thank you so much for joining me on today's first attempt at doing a Monday mindfulness method, some other M words, even though we drew a bunch of stuff to begin with A, and hopefully I didn't William Shatner voice too much so that we can do this again. So Wednesday, I gotta check my schedule, but Wednesday we're gonna do another stream. And this time we'll be working on laying out comics for a gnome anthology that I'm working on with a bunch of friends and the fellow creators, finishing that up. And if we get done with that, then I might switch back to working on some ADHD things, or maybe some other type of digital products, stamps and designs, or just drawing more gnomes. And this weekend is Gem City, so you'll find me and a lot of other Ohio artists at Jesse Noble's Gem City in Dayton, Ohio. So if you're there, come commission me for a quick sketch the day of, because I'm not taking anything home. I have too much other stuff in my queue I have to finish, but I will be drawing you or your loved ones as a gnome, monster, zombie, alpaca. I don't know, whatever. So, um, yeah, thanks a lot. If you want to see this artwork later on, I'll post it on Instagram, JM underscore INDY underscore Hunter. So JM Indie Hunter. Sammy just popped in. I'm about to head out though. We are a little bit over an hour and a half. Eventually, I'd like to get this up to 2 or 3 hours, but with a little more structure. So you're not just listening to me ramble like Shatner with all these weird pauses. All right. Thanks, everybody.